Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cordumt and we are back for some more Pillars of Eternity with the Triple Crown difficulty settings. So in the last episode we had just spoken to the dwarf lady here. We learned that apparently we are what's called a watcher and we can have some kind of visions and hear things, maybe even know something about a person, about his previous soul life, even if they do not know them themselves. Now, before we start, I'm actually gonna level up my characters here. I have myself and Mr. Aloth. We're gonna go for level 3. So, for level 3, what do I want? In terms of skills, I'm mostly interested in mechanics. But I guess I can also just give it a point in stealth as well. And I suppose 1 point in survival. At least we get a little buff, and then I'm gonna slowly try to increase it as we go. And then in terms of abilities, we have Crippling Strike, Reckless Assault. This one unfortunately only works for melee. We have Escape, which is actually cool. It gives us some deflection, some reflex. This is interesting because like we talked about previously during the character creation, this is not a percentage-based increase. It's actually straight up 25 deflection points, which is actually useful, but not really the most interesting thing we have. And finally, we have Dirty Fighting, and this is the one we're gonna take. So this one is pretty much the same thing as the Earth Orlan sub-race gives us. 10% of hits are converted to crits. And if I understand this correctly, what this does is, every time you hit someone, both effects are gonna get checked. So you're gonna check for 10% hit to crit from your sub-race, and then you're gonna check 10% of hit to crit from Dirty Fighting. So pretty cool skill or ability. That's what we're gonna take. Level 3 is done. And now for Mr. Aloth, there's something I actually want to check also, because wizards in Pillars of Eternity have their grimoires, and this is something that we kind of have to pay attention to, what kind of spells we actually have. So for instance, Aloth here has in his grimoire Calicott's Sunless Grasp, but this isn't actually a spell that he knows. So there's a difference between spells that you know and spells that you can cast, because it depends on what you have in your grimoire at the time. This works kind of like your memorization. So let's check out Mr. Aloth's level ups here. He's gonna go for level 2 right now, and then to level 3 I believe. And lore isn't really very interesting for me, because I don't really plan on using a lot of scrolls. He's a wizard, so he's gonna be using his own spells. But I'm gonna pretty much just put some spare points in this skill here, because why not? I'm gonna give him athletics as well, just for some minor healing at the start at least. I can give him some points in survival, maybe 1 point in stealth, and just go for this. I'm gonna start working on his survival skills because we have a lot of cool stuff here. And like I said, spare points go into lore. They do carry to the next level, but in any case, I want this. So, for level 1 spells, you have a lot of choices here. The ones that I usually like at the start are Slicken, because this allows you to, in an AoE, knock your opponents prone for 5.2 seconds, which is actually quite nice. But I'm actually gonna go for Chill Fog here, which is also very nice. This one continuously deals damage and blinds your opponents for 3.9 seconds. The AoE duration, however, is 20 seconds, and the effect reapplies if people stay in the fog. So this is a nice spell to take. So we're gonna take Chill Fog, and now in terms of talents, one talent we're probably gonna take eventually is Blast. This just throws an AoE damage quote-unquote spell. And I think you have this, what, once per encounter? Maybe once per... don't remember. But then we also have our offensive skills here, and one of them that's cool is Marksman. Again, for the reason we talked about during character creation, accuracy is not only for archers and rogues, it's also for spellcasters. But in my case, I think I'm gonna start with... I think it's Noble that has Scepter, yes. We're gonna start with weapon-focused Noble to get +6 accuracy on our Scepters and Rods. And this is the weapon I think we're gonna be pretty much using most of the time. That's a nice boost at the start. And for level 3, we are gonna continue dumping some points into survival, some into lore, and that's pretty much it. I don't need mechanics because my rogue will take care of it. Athletics doesn't really matter for him, so it's pretty much stealth and survival. Okay, so now here we have our first level 2 spell. And what we want here. I gotta check because I kind of forget what we have. I think I like this one, the Miasma of Dull-Mindedness. This is also an AoE area. It lasts for 16 seconds, give or take. And it makes it so anybody within the area has a penalty to Perception, Intellect, and Resolve. So it's actually quite nice. I think this is not party friendly. What else do we have? We have Necrotic Lance as a single target... What? As a single target nuke. It's actually quite nice. Deals 37 to 48 corrode and 33.6 corrode damage over time. Mirrored Image, not bad. Merciless Gaze, hits to crits, quite good for a minute. Infuse with Vital Essence, just give me more endurance and health, not really interested in that. Fetid Caress, we can paralyze a target for 10 seconds, which is very good. And it can sicken anyone in the area for 8 seconds as well. So Sickened makes it so a character has all his attributes reduced by 1 and Fortitude and Will are reduced by 10. Also not bad. This one is gonna blind everyone for 26 seconds in the area. Foe AoE Drain, corrode damage. Not bad, because Drain actually heals me. Burn damage over time, when dealt damage, meh. Binding Web, Stuck, and Bewildering Spectacle for AoE Confusion. So Confusion here, in Pillars, the Confusion Affliction makes the character behave erratically. Every 6 seconds the target checks randomly to do one of the following. Behave normally, attack an ally, walk in random direction, or do nothing. So actually, quite a nice skill here. Lasts for not too long, 6.5 seconds, but it's not bad. I think I'm gonna go for the Miasma and possibly a Necrotic Lance for a single target nuke. I don't really have like a preset spell book that I want to take, so I have to think about this a little bit. In any case, I think I like this. Or Fetid Caress for a paralyzation. Maybe this is better, right? Instead of dealing damage, paralyze the target. I think I like that more. Okay, go for that. So this is our level ups here. And we can continue.
What is it?
Let's go.
17 and a half.
17 and a half, Edér. The smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origin, where you find a broad man with straw-colored hair leaning against a mossy rock wall, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks you directly in the eye, but the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
Because she's short? What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Eloth frowns. Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Edér. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
What was that about the dwarf?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you are.
What makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman? He looks at you for a moment, his brow arched. His smirk broadens.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
Do you know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Best not use that word round here. There'd be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
You think you're gonna be hanged?
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
What does your town have against you?
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was in the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me.
Wow. And they did.
Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Elot glances at you and lowers his voice. You can see why I was eager to leave. The war? Saints' War. Only one in my lifetime. Fella decides the living incarnation of Eothas. Overthrows Red Seras, marches on Deerwood, so we gave him a Deerwooden hello. What's a Deerwooden hello?
We blew him up.
He smiles at this, but it is the smile of one recounting a joke for effect rather than enjoyment. Okay, so who is Eothas? God of rebirth and redemption. Formerly, anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. Why was your headman hanged? Got involved? Redrick sent men down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority someone in town was working with Kolsk, plotting Redrick's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headman, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. He sighs and shakes his head, his eyes fixed on the tree. Bound to happen sooner or later, if not for plotting against Redrick, then for protecting me. Who's Kolsk? Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now, probably will be until they catch him. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Drinking, mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured out where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Waidwen's legacy started with Waidwen. We could travel together. Where are you headed? Some place called Kednua. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
There's a fine reason if I ever heard one.
All right then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
He tilts his head forward and gives you a pointed look. Let's get going. So, Mr. Edér here, he is gonna be our
Hope you're
tank.
not expecting much. Hey.
Let's see what he has. So, Mr. Edér has a lot of health, has more endurance than us, and he's still level 1, I think. His defense, he has 45 AC, nothing very particularly special, but it's much higher than ours. Okay, so, where can we see this? He's a first level fighter, human, obviously. Might 16, Con 16, Dex 11, Perception 12, Int 10, Resolve 13. So this is what I was talking about also during the character creation. You don't really need a character that has min-maxed every single stat. It's not that relevant. Edér, for instance, is, in my mind, a very, very good tank. You don't need to make him like 2 might and 20 resolve and 20 constitution and 20 perception. He's fine just like this, okay? So don't worry about that if you guys are also thinking about creating your characters. Let's level him up. So for him, I actually want probably athletics and survival. Survival for the same reason we've discussed before on my other characters. You get some passive bonuses to damage reduction or healing received, accuracy against a creature type, or just bonus damage versus flanked enemies. So it's quite good. And athletics lets you gain some endurance during the combats. Now, since he's a fighter, he already has a couple of points there, we're gonna give him some more. But for now, I think I'm gonna go for... No, yeah, probably just athletics here. All athletics. Next, in terms of talents, there's a lot of things that are actually quite interesting for a fighter here. A bonus knockdown isn't bad at all, because we already have knockdown, we have 2 per encounter, and this is a very good skill. It leaves your target prone for 5 seconds. Very awesome. This one just gives you an extra cast. In terms of offensive talents here, at most, I think I would give him something like one-handed style, because he's going to be mostly using one-handed weapons with a shield, and this does count with that. And probably one of the weapon focuses once I actually figure out what I want to use. At this point, I'm not really sure. Probably a hatchet is the safest choice because of the deflection bonuses, but there are also some other cool weapons throughout the game. In terms of defensive stuff is where I really want to focus on first, because like I said, this is going to be our main tank for the party. We have Hold the Line, and this allows you to have 1 extra enemy engaged, and this is pretty much how you tank in Pillars of Eternity. You have a certain number of enemies that are kind of stuck to you, and if they try to leave, you trigger an attack of opportunity. I'm not sure if it's called attack of opportunity here, but that's essentially what it is. Other than that, we also have Weapon and Shield style, which is probably the one I'm going to go for right now. And this gives us extra 6 to our shield deflection. And our shield deflection bonus also applies to our reflex saves. So this would be a good talent to take, even if this other section here wasn't present, if it was just a 6 shield deflection. But this is just bonus points for me, honestly. In utility, let me see if we have something for utility here. Move speed isn't bad. This is all irrelevant. No thank you. Wound binding could be cool, could be useful. Field triage, nah. Okay, so we're gonna go here for weapon and shield style for some extra defenses. And that's our first level up for him. For level 3, I'm gonna continue dumping some points into our athletics and then start putting some points in survival and maybe some in stealth. because we are probably going to be scouting as a team a lot of the time, and making sure that my other teammates aren't spotted is also a good thing to have. Fighter abilities. So what do we have? We have Defender. This I believe is like a stance. He increases his number of engagement targets to 3, but at the expense of deflection. So yeah, we lose some deflection, but we have extra 2 enemies engaged, and this I think could be quite good. Other than that, we have Confident Aim. This just makes it so we hit more reliably and we deal more average damage, let's say. Discipline Barrage is quite cool, but I would say this is mostly for the DPS. And Guardian Stance, Friendly Aura plus 10 deflection, Self minus 10 accuracy. Now the thing here is, Defender and Guardian Stance are both model abilities. A model ability is one that causes an effect to occur continuously while it is active. For example, a Paladin's Zealous Auras grant bonuses to everyone near them for as long as they are active. Model abilities are often grouped so that only one model ability in a category can be active at any given time. These groupings are reflected by how the abilities are organized on the action bar. So, from my understanding, Guardian Stance and Defender do not stack on top of each other, so we have to pick one. In this case, I prefer to have more enemies engaged, rather than just kinda buff deflection around me, so Defender is gonna be the one we're gonna take here. And that's it. It's not very complicated, but if you're looking at them for the first time, there are a lot of abilities and talents, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. Okay, so now my plan is we're gonna explore the Gilded Vale. We have a couple of houses here. I'm gonna try and see what we can find. Maybe some quests, maybe some loot. And I also have to think if I want to take a custom character or not. Oh, kitty. This is Alfra. The wooden woman is standing in front of the fireplace, humming a quiet tune to herself, or perhaps to her unborn child, for she is clearly quite pregnant. She turns her head slightly as you enter.
How do you do?
Well, finally! I was starting to think... The woman makes a startled noise when she turns around and sees you. Oh, I'm sorry. I was expecting someone else. She gives you a cautious smile. Can I help you? Nice cat. Alfred smiles brightly. Oh, thank you. She's a sweetheart. Keeps the house clear of mice, too. Ugh. I just arrived in Gilded Vale. I thought I'd get to know the locals. Were you at one of the caravans? She looks at you hopefully. Master Odima's by chance? Oh god. Is this Kaliska's sister? You knew Odima? Well, no more than most here, I'd say. He doesn't usually come this way, but they say he's a reliable old fellow. She pauses, brows furrowing. Wait, why do you say new? I'm sorry, but the caravan was attacked. I was the only one to survive. Ofra covers her mouth with a hand, eyes wide with horror. For a few moments she can manage nothing but a strangled, voiceless gasping, her eyes brimming with tears. I knew. I told her it was a dangerous path to take. Yeah, it is Kaliska's sister, goddammit. Kaliska was always so certain she could take on any danger, Ofra sniffs. Oh, my poor sister. I'm sorry, stranger. I can't believe she's gone. If only I hadn't called her here. If I hadn't written to her. She might still be alive somewhere. Ofra's face crumples and a solitary tear slides down her cheek. Kaliska mentioned that she thought you needed help. Perhaps I can provide some assistance. Ofra looks at you with some surprise before dabbing at her nose with a sleeve. That's kind of you to offer, but I don't know if I could impose this on you. It's not a small favor. Ofra wipes at her eyes. I'm worried about the baby, about the legacy. I told Kaliska as much as I could, but all I know is that for a long time now, every child born in Gilded Vale has been soulless, empty. It's happened to so many mothers, and Lord Redrick, he's exiled all of them, calling it a sign of the gods' disfavor. She sniffs. With my Hawthorn gone, I'm guessing this is her husband, I don't know how I'd manage if I lost my home too. I hoped Kaliska could help me. They say Ranga, the old midwife, knows a way to prevent a child from being born hollowborn. But she moved south to Anslock's Compass 2 seasons ago. The journey's too far for me. I can't make it as I am, but I don't have anyone else. Now with Kaliska gone, more tears run down her face. Please, can you help me? Sure. I'll find Ranga for you. Offer a Blink's eyes Offer a Blink's eyes wide. You will? Oh, gods bless you. Here, I'll give you coin to pay her with. You needn't trouble yourself with that. I think it's a drink she fashions out of... Well, I'm not sure, but it shouldn't be too much of a burden to carry back. Anslock's Compass is what we call the lagoon to the south. You'll have to cross the wilds to get there. That's what keeps me from trying myself. She clasps her hands together. Thank you again, truly. You'll be saving us both. She sets a hand on her stomach, smiling through her tears. Oh, lady. New quest, A Mother's Plea. Now, is this considered stealing? Yes, it is. Can I be sneaky?
Blade in the dark.
Okay, so wait. This means she cannot see me, I think. Now, I'm a good guy, but I'm still a rogue. So I am gonna steal if I can. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, cool. This worn dog-eared book is titled Travels Upon the Selglass Sea. There is an etched illustration of a vast finned leviathan. Wonderful.
Hey.
Okay, so we're gonna have to find someone in a different area in order to help this lady. That's okay. Let's see who else we can find that can give us some quests. This house? It does open. Okay. It just isn't marked like this, like Ingrid's house. Oh, I've looted this already. Okay. Oh, these are just Kickstarter NPCs.
What is it?
So can I steal something from here? Ah, and this is the skill we gain, right? Crucible of the Soul. The Watcher unravels the vital essence of his or her enemies, gaining endurance in the process. So this is a foe AoE, so I think it only hits enemies. And it drains 12.4 burn damage as endurance. Quite cool. Okay, so what can we steal? Shh, nobody's seeing me. I guess I can take it to sell.
I'll see what I can find.
It does have some advantages, having high stealth. You can kind of steal stuff without people seeing you. Okay, what else we have? Another house. Cannot go in. Ingrid's house. I don't think we've heard this name before. Oh, this is new. Beer. Wait, we've met this guy before, haven't we?
Yes.
Ingrid. This man and woman appear to have been deep in conversation, working at closing two bulging satchels. They move to embrace until the woman notices you approach and pauses, her smile faltering a little.
Hail and well met.
Can we help you? She looks to her companion, brows furrowing with confusion. Do you know this man, Naunton? Naunton coughs. Yes. I think we met in the Valewood. I warned him about the bear. He inclines his head. Glad to see you've made it. Was there something else you wanted? You two are in good spirits for people who just lost a friend. That's unkind for you to say. I'm grieving my husband in my fashion. I'm only sorry I could not convince him to leave Gilded Vale before this happened. I'm relieved to be rid of this terrible place, that's all. It's cost me the greater part of my life, and now my husband, and I'm glad to be free of it. You seem to be in a hurry. Yes, I imagine so, Ingrid laughs. We're packing for a trip, actually. I've been meaning to visit Defiance Bay, and... She looks at Naunton. Well, in truth, I think I've had my fill of this town. Nonton reaches to take her hand. It's time for some new scenery, he says. Is there anything you can tell me about Gilded Vale? Ingrid smiles wryly. Only that you'll want to be moving on as soon as you can. You'll have seen the tree, I imagine, but the rot goes deeper. If you were looking for work, I'd say you have a better chance of it elsewhere. We're headed for Defiance by ourselves, Nonton adds. Okay, goodbye. Anything to steal? Yes.
Keeping an eye out.
Stealing everything. Dun, 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 dun. I doubt I can steal that. Oops, I pressed the wrong button.
Keeping an eye out.
Okay, so we gotta wait for the radius here to be over. Can I? Oh!
There's something ahead.
Wait. I don't think I've ever seen that before. There's a hidden compartment. Under the bed, it seems. Okay. I'm out of range. Let's check it out. Wow. Take it all, except for the camping supplies, which we already have. And let's move. This bottle of Sonrid is half empty.
Hey.
There was a quest for us, I think, at the mill. Now that I think of it.
Of course.
Okay, so let's go for the mill. This was against the grain, I believe. Trumbull. An elven man stands before you. His relatively stocky build suggesting a life of labor. His face is pale and drawn, and his eyes wide. Behind him, a younger man and woman exchange worried glances. The miller raises a club as you enter. It shakes violently in his grip. Get back if you value your life. Hold on, I'm not here to hurt anyone. The miller hesitates, then lowers the club a fraction. Who are you? Is Swinur roping foreigners into his little crusade now? Yeah, because there was a ruckus outside with people barging at the door, demanding lower prices, I believe. I thought you could use some help. Those people out there seem pretty angry. Really? Trumbull sighs relief. Helios tits, could I use a friendly face? I take it you heard some part of what that crowd's asking for. Grain, as if I've got it all tucked away somewhere. Swiner's been egging that lot on for days now. They've been keeping clear so far, but if things keep on like they are, I don't know how much longer we've got before things get messy. Please, if you're not here on his behalf, maybe you can speak to Swiner. He won't listen to me anymore. Just explain that we're all getting smaller rations now. We're all making sacrifices. Okay, I'll go see what I can do. The miller all but sags with relief. I'd be grateful if you did. He won't listen to me anymore, but maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him we're all having a hard time of it, and we'll all have to make some sacrifices. We'll be in your debt for it, if you can convince him. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, and they have a box. Hehehe. Hehehehe. Ah, you do have grain. It's mine now.
Hey.
Stealing everything is my play pattern. And I love it. You guys should have seen me playing Skyrim all those years ago, just stealing everything from every single store. The Black Hammer Smithery. Alright, what do you have? Maybe I can also sell some of my useless items here. Ooh, and probably some stealing as well. So this is Tuatanu, an Omawa, yeah. This Omawa man is of an impressive build, towering above the countertop. His skin is a dusky blue of the deeper oceans, and his thick arms boast corded muscle. Small ears frame a square-jawed face, coated in smeared soot and arcing black tattoos alike. He offers you a broad smile as you approach. Welcome. You're the first new face I've seen in quite some time. What can I do for you? What do you have here? You come to us at a strange time, I'm afraid. The stock's not what it used to be. but with fine weapons and armor to offer yet. All forged right here at the Black Hammer. What happened? We just don't have the supplies. Been expecting the next delivery for near on a week now and haven't seen a sign of it. Have to expect they were hit by bandits. The road out east is crawling with them. Or my workers ran off with the wagon themselves, maybe, to make some coin. Tuatanu snorts, as if that lot would dare. He's right about the bandits. The dire situations in villages like this and the exodus to the cities has created far too many opportunities for unscrupulous sorts. Tuatanu scratches his jaw, thinking, if you happen to be headed that way, maybe you could keep an eye out for a supply wagon. Or my shipment, at least. They'd be cutting through the Black Meadow, I expect. Only good road for it. As it is, most of our weapons go to His Grace, Lord Redrick. Tuatanu glances at the nearby guard. And that's as it should be. But it doesn't leave much for outsiders. We just don't have the iron. I'll see them back safe and sound. I'd appreciate your trying anyhow. You bring back the supplies at least and I'll have much more to offer you. A discount to start. And if you do find my workers, you give them a good smack upside the head for me. I will. The Smith's Shipment, new quest.
Hello.
Okay, let's see your wares. Of course, you won't find finer anywhere else. Okay, so he has some magical stuff here. He has a pike, which has a lot of weapon reach. Constitution and grace is converted to hits. Not bad. Hold wall. I think this would actually be a pretty good weapon for myself, as the damage is kinda high. Plus 20 attack speed. Quite good for a Herbalist, because these are very slow. And crits can inflict prone, which is very, very nice. Okay, so that's good. Let me actually compare to me. Yeah, it's the same thing. Compare... Oh, not that one. Still. And we have a Stiletto. Stilettos are like daggers, but they have a damage reduction bypass. Grants jolting touch on critical hit. 1 per encounter. Cool. Then we have some basic weapons here, I think. I think this is one of the best shields. Yeah, but for paladins. 8 deflection has a friendly aura of +5 to all defenses, which is pretty good. We have some armor here, a minor ring of deflection. I don't have any kind of this gold. We have the blunting belt, which is quite cool. Damage reduction against piercing and slashing, very good. Cape of withdrawal, +15 defense when disengaging. This is a cool ring and a cool ring as well. The bronze horn figurine. Summon animat. I don't think I have a pry bar. This is used for prying open certain types of containers, but not especially useful on doors due to the uneven and narrow distribution of its leverage. I'll take one. Just in case it's useful sometime. And I could sell some stuff here. 10 CP. Sure. Okay. Give me the money. And let's see what we can steal. Okay. They cannot spot me here. Okay. This doesn't really matter. And... okay, the guy is going over there. Ooh, take it. Take a flail. And can I find my way over there without people seeing me? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. We're gonna steal everything. Nice. Oh, it's a book. Alright. Let's get out of here. And I do believe that the quest for the guy in the mill is done at the inn. So that's what I'm gonna go now. And this situation here at Ingrid's house seems a little bit fishy. She lost her husband, he lost his best friend, and they're all happy and hugging and leaving town. Not so sure about that. Okay, so we picked up a few new companions, or in this case, Edér. Aloth was in the last episode. We have our level ups done. We have a quest to do at the inn, and I need to think if I want a custom companion or not. Because I think that what I want to take is Edér, Aloth, Durance, which is a priest, probably the Grieving Mother, who is a cipher. So me, Edér, Aloth, Durance, the Grieving Mother. Yeah, probably I'll take a sixth one as a custom companion. I don't really like the other ones, I think. Alright, but I'll think about that in between the episodes. Okay, so as always guys, thank you so much for being here with me in the channel, watching some Pillars of Eternity. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I do like this game a lot. I like the quests, I like the gameplay, I like the lore. So I hope you guys can enjoy it as well. As usual, if you have any questions, suggestions, anything at all, leave a comment below. If you want to get notified about other videos coming to the channel, feel free to subscribe. It's a free and easy way to support my channel, and videos are coming out every single day. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Until then, stay safe everyone.